The hidden psychology behind their silence. What if the women who post the least online are actually the ones who understand people the most? In today's world, confidence is often measured by visibility. The more photos someone uploads, the more followers they gain, and the more attention they receive, the more successful they appear. Social media has quietly convinced millions of people that being noticed is the same as being valued. But what if that's one of the biggest misconceptions of our time? What if choosing privacy isn't a sign of insecurity, but a sign of emotional wisdom? Today we're uncovering the hidden psychology behind female empaths and why so many of them quietly choose to stay out of the spotlight. By the end of this video, you'll understand why they value peace over popularity, why they guard their personal lives so carefully, and why their silence often says more than constant attention ever could. Most people assume that when someone rarely posts pictures online, something must be wrong. Maybe they're shy. Maybe they lack confidence. Maybe they don't like the way they look. These assumptions are common, but they're often far from the truth. For many female empaths, the decision to stay private has very little to do with appearance. Instead, it's connected to the way they experience emotions and relationships. A compliment may be appreciated, but criticism, or even unnecessary opinions, can linger in their minds far longer than most people realize. This doesn't make them emotionally weak. In many cases, it means they're emotionally aware. As they grow older, many female empaths begin asking themselves a simple question before posting anything online. What am I truly gaining from sharing this? If the answer is only temporary attention, they often decide it's not worth it. Instead of collecting likes, they choose to protect something much harder to rebuild once it's lost: inner peace. They've learned that not everyone who watches your life genuinely cares about your happiness. Some people compare, some judge, some misunderstand. Others simply consume personal moments without adding anything meaningful in return. Over time, female empaths realize that privacy isn't about hiding from the world. It's about choosing who deserves access to it. Their personal life becomes something they share intentionally, not automatically. And that's a level of emotional maturity that many people never fully develop. But protecting their privacy is only the beginning. The real reason female empaths rarely post their photos has even more to do with validation, self-worth, and a psychological pattern that keeps millions of people chasing approval every single day. That's exactly what we'll uncover in the next part. The hidden trap of seeking approval. The more time female empaths spend observing people, the more they begin to notice something fascinating. Many people don't post because they want to share a memory. They post because they're hoping for a feeling. The feeling of being noticed. The feeling of being admired. The feeling of being accepted. Without realizing it, countless people slowly hand over their emotional well-being to complete strangers. A single photo is uploaded. Then comes the waiting. Who liked it? Who ignored it? Why did this picture perform worse than the last one? Little by little, happiness becomes connected to numbers instead of real experiences. Female empaths often recognize this emotional pattern much earlier than most people. Because they're naturally reflective, they begin asking questions that completely change the way they use social media. Why should my confidence depend on someone else's opinion? Why should strangers decide how I feel about myself? And why am I chasing approval that disappears within hours? These questions lead to a powerful realization. External validation is temporary. Real confidence isn't. A compliment feels good. 100 likes feel exciting. But eventually the excitement fades. The notifications stop. People move on to the next post. And the cycle starts all over again. Many female empaths decide they no longer want to live inside that cycle. Instead of searching for approval, they begin investing in something much more meaningful. Personal growth, real friendships, peace of mind, deep conversations, experiences that continue adding value long after the screen turns off. This doesn't mean female empaths dislike compliments. Kind words still matter. Genuine appreciation still feels meaningful. The difference is that they don't build their identity around public. Their confidence grows from who they are, not from how many people are watching. Because of this, they rarely feel pressured to prove that they're happy, successful, or living an exciting life. Some of their greatest memories never appear online. Some of their biggest achievements remain private. And some of their happiest moments are shared only with the people they truly trust. To many people, that seems unusual. But to a female empath, protecting meaningful moments often makes those moments even more valuable. Over time, this way of thinking creates something extremely rare in today's world: emotional independence. It becomes entertainment, not emotional survival. And once a female empath reaches that point, another surprising habit begins to appear. She no longer feels the need to capture every beautiful moment. She simply lives it. But why do female empaths often choose to experience special moments instead of photographing them? In the next part, you'll discover the surprising psychological reason they value real memories over online attention, and why this quiet habit reveals a level of emotional intelligence that most people never develop. Why they choose to live the moment instead of posting it. Once female empaths stop chasing validation, something else begins to change: the way they experience life itself. Have you ever noticed how quickly people reach for their phones the moment something beautiful happens? A breathtaking sunset, a family celebration, a peaceful vacation, even a simple cup of coffee at a beautiful cafe. For many people, the first instinct isn't to enjoy the moment, it's to capture it, then upload it, then wait for the reactions. Female empaths often approach these moments very differently. When something truly touches them emotionally, they don't immediately think about sharing it. They think about experiencing it. If they're watching the ocean at sunset, they're paying attention to the sound of the waves, the cool breeze, the colors in the sky, the emotions they feel in that exact moment. Their first thought isn't, "This will make a great post." It's, "I never want to forget how this feels." That's because empaths naturally experience life on a deeper emotional level. They don't just remember events. They remember feelings. A meaningful conversation can stay with them for years. A quiet walk with someone they love may become more valuable than an expensive vacation. A simple act of kindness can leave a lasting emotional imprint long after everyone else has forgotten it. Because they treasure emotions more than appearances. Many female empaths don't feel the need to turn every meaningful experience into online content. To them, A memory doesn't become more valuable because thousands of strangers see it. Its value comes from how deeply it was lived. This way of thinking also protects them from something many people never notice: the pressure to perform happiness. Social media has quietly changed the way many people experience life. Instead of asking, "Am I happy?" people often ask, "Does my life look happy?" There's an important difference. One question focuses on reality, the other focuses on appearance. Female empaths usually recognize this difference very quickly. They understand that constantly performing happiness can slowly disconnect a person from genuine happiness itself. That's why they often choose authenticity over attention. They don't need every beautiful meal photographed. They don't need every gift displayed. They don't need every success announced. Some moments are simply too personal to become public entertainment. Over time, this creates a unique kind of emotional freedom. While others feel pressure to prove they're living a meaningful life, female empaths become comfortable simply living it. They don't confuse privacy with loneliness. They don't confuse silence with weakness, and they certainly don't confuse popularity with fulfillment, because they've learned one powerful truth: the most meaningful moments are often the ones that never appear on a screen. Ironically, the less they feel the need to impress others, the more genuine their lives become. And as they grow emotionally wiser, another transformation quietly begins. They stop protecting only their memories. They begin protecting their energy itself. But why do female empaths become even more private as they grow older? In the next part, you'll discover how painful experiences teach them to guard their emotional energy, and why strong boundaries become one of the greatest signs of emotional maturity. Why they guard their energy more than their image. As female empaths grow older, something remarkable begins to happen. Their lives don't necessarily become quieter. They become more intentional. The lessons they've learned through relationships, disappointments, and emotional exhaustion slowly reshape the way they interact with the world, especially online. Many female empaths spend years giving more than they receive. They're the ones who listen when everyone else is talking. They offer comfort without expecting recognition. They forgive mistakes. They give second chances, sometimes even third and fourth chances. But life eventually teaches them something difficult. Not everyone values kindness. Some people admire it. Others take advantage of it. There are those who mistake compassion for weakness and generosity for unlimited availability. These experiences don't make an empath cold. They make her wiser. Instead of asking, "How can I make everyone happy?" she begins asking, "Who has truly earned access to my energy?" That single question changes everything. The conversations become more meaningful. The friendships become fewer, but stronger. And social media becomes a place she visits, not a place where she lives. She stops, feeling obligated to explain every decision. She no longer believes every memory belongs online. She realizes that every photo shared publicly invites opinions from people who know only a tiny part of her story. Some will admire, some will criticize, some will compare, some will misunderstand. Rather than carrying the emotional weight of all those reactions, she chooses something much healthier. Boundaries. Healthy boundaries don't push people away. They protect what matters. For female empaths, privacy becomes one of those boundaries. Not because they're hiding secrets, but because they've learned that peace is easier to protect than it is to rebuild. This understanding also changes how they see attention. When they were younger, attention may have felt exciting. As they mature, they begin noticing the hidden costs that comes with it. The more visible you become, the more expectations people create. They expect updates. They expect explanations. They feel entitled to know what's happening in your life. Eventually, maintaining that public image can become emotionally exhausting. Female empaths recognize this before many others do. That's why they don't measure success by visibility. They measure it by peace, by emotional balance, by waking up each day without feeling pressured to impress anyone. Over time, this creates a confidence that's difficult to shake because it's no longer built on compliments or followers. It's built on self-awareness, and that's a foundation no algorithm can take away. Interestingly, as female empaths share less about themselves, they begin noticing more about everyone else. They become incredible observers. They pay attention to actions instead of promises, patterns instead of appearances, character instead of image. This ability quietly strengthens their emotional intelligence year after year. The less they perform for the world, the more clearly they begin to understand it. And perhaps that's why they seem so calm in a culture that's constantly competing for attention. But there's still one final misunderstanding that needs to be uncovered. Many people believe female empaths stay private because they lack confidence. In the final part, you'll discover why the opposite is often true, and why their silence may actually be one of the strongest signs of emotional maturity.